50 kilometers from La Paz, the pueblo of Agua Amarga sits caught between two extremes, the deep Pacific waters and a punishing arid desert. For the roughly 600 people living here, survival is a daily calculus. They face severe chronic shortages of fresh water and reliable electricity. And right next door, a massive luxury megatourism project threatens to swallow their remaining resources. But the town isn't fighting back with petitions or political campaigns. They are defending themselves with structural engineering, a strategy known as infrastructure autonomy. To survive in Baja California Sur today, communities can't simply protest developers at the gates. They have to engineer complete independence from the region's fragile, centralized utility grids. This strategy of self-reliance has a blueprint. Centuries ago, Jesuit builders managed to conquer this exact arid landscape. They built gravity-fed water networks called acequias, using local, porous volcanic rock known as tezontle. This 300-year-old philosophy of decentralized resource management is what Agua Amarga applies today. Only now, instead of stone canals, it looks like micro-solar grids and localized wastewater treatment. Security isn't found by plugging into a massive, vulnerable state grid. It is built through hyper-local systems with the lowest lifecycle cost, infrastructure that is cheap to maintain and entirely controlled by the residents who rely on it. This diagram maps how linear waste streams are captured and redirected into closed loops, the circular economy. The first intervention tackles single-use plastic bottles. Through a refill revolution, public water stations cut off that plastic supply chain. Next is the organic loop. Local restaurants separate their food scraps, diverting them away from the town's communal dumps and sending them straight to community organic farms. This microscopic cross-section of arid soil demonstrates the chemistry of terra preta, or biochar. By burning invasive desert scrub, locals create a carbon matrix. These jagged molecules act like a permanent sponge, physically trapping water and nutrients. In a closed-loop system, garbage ceases to be a liability. It becomes the precise raw material required to engineer new, nutrient-rich topsoil. Generating that new soil directly solves the region's most pressing crisis, the scarcity of fresh water. This cross-section shows a desert watershed during a storm. Residents build gabions, miniature rock dams, across dry riverbeds. Floodwater hits these barriers, pooling and filtering underground to recharge the aquifer. This restored water table allows native scrub roots to lock carbon into the earth. In an arid climate, managing soil and managing water are the exact same engineering problem. Physical infrastructure and closed-loop ecology can only take a town so far. Without a psychological shift in the workforce, those systems will eventually fail. For generations, the local economy relied on resource extraction. This baseline was defined by trades like traditional shark fishing, pulling heavily from the marine ecosystem. Today, targeted vocational programs are retraining those exact fishermen to work as licensed ecotourism guides. This transition is economically viable. By running licensed ethical tours to see the iconic gray whales, the same boat captains now fund marine conservation research and protect vulnerable species, earning a living through preservation rather than depletion. This is a deliberate structural transition, moving a whole workforce from an extractive economy to a protective economy. The final phase of Agua Amarga's blueprint secures the town's future under the Sierra a Mar, or Ridge to Reef curriculum. Students use their own community as a classroom to study marine biodiversity and water conservation. At the same time, citizens are engaging in participatory mapping. By legally documenting their traditional land use and boat docking areas, the town builds a legal firewall against encroaching private megadevelopments. This technical work is anchored by the preservation of cultural pride. Through place-based arts and music programs, the community maintains an unbroken, living link to the region's deep heritage. By combining historic engineering principles, closed-loop ecosystems, and a fiercely protective cultural identity, Agua Amarga proves a vital point. The most resilient infrastructure on Earth is a connected community.